topic for Sunday service is Sri Ramakrishna and Womankind. Sri Ramakrishna's birthday will be on March 6th. So we thought studying something about Sri Ramakrishna and his views. So first, those of us who have read the Gospel, we find so commonly written about woman and gold. Be aware of woman and gold. Those are the things which drag us down. Be cautious about woman and gold. So many people confuse why Sri Ramakrishna says so derogatory things about woman and gold. Gold is the wealth. But what about that? Maybe we understand. But why he's saying so many things about the woman, keep a distance from woman and gold. But those who have read nicely, they find that woman and gold is always put under the quotation mark. That means it's a phrase. Woman there represents passion, desire, and gold represents greed. So control your passion and your greed. That is the only way for spiritual progress. And he summarizes the whole samsara, whole world of worldliness in these two words, passion and greed. Desire to enjoy and possess. That these two things are manifestation of our ego. And they are the most prominent example of ignorance. So in the Gospel itself, Swami Nikhilanandaji, who translated the Kathamrita into the Gospel, has written nicely what he meant by woman and gold. The status of woman in 19th century or earlier in medieval time was very pitiable. That's why you often read what these spiritual leaders have comments on the womankind. It is of interest. We find that in Vedic times it was said that any yajna would be incomplete without husband and wife. They have to be there to perform the yajna. So wife was in all the sense had the equal right for all the things in household. Later on that right was taken away and men dominated the society and women were neglected as it were and were not given the right or the recognition of their power. In spiritual history also, if you see in our epics like Ramayana or in the story life of Krishna, we find that there was great love between Rama and Sita. Rama, he challenged one who had abducted Sita and gave up everything and fought Ravana and brought back Sita. So much of love he had for his wife. Similarly, Krishna also is seen to have greatly loving Radha and his wife Rukmini and all those. But nowhere it is seen that they have really empowered their wives in their purpose of life. What really Sita helped to promote the establishment of dharma in the life of Rama is not seen, is not highlighted. Or what is the role of Radha except the example of how one should love God? But was Radha empowered or was Rukmini empowered to spiritual administration? What about Buddha? Buddha married and he left his home as people used to do in sannyasa, renounced everything including his wife. That was the dharma. That is the dharma of a sannyasi. He renounces everything. But Buddha was not an ordinary monk. He was an incarnation of God, a spiritual leader for the times to come, eternity. So what did he do for Yashodhara? So she was just left behind. That was the dharma. Nothing special was done. But what we see in Sri Ramakrishna's case, what did he do? It was the thing that being written, even Shankaracharya said that if you are born as a man, then it is possible for you to realize God. Nothing is said about women, as if women are not capable of having that highest knowledge of God. In the Gita itself, it was much older, the time of Gita, Mahabharata, it is said, Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajashayas tatha. What should I speak of learned Brahmins and Rajarshis, wise Rajarshis? Striyo vaishyas tatha shudras devi yanti parangatim. Even the women, the vaishyas and shudras, the traders and the laborers, they also can have that supreme realization, parangatim. If they love God, they can have the supreme realization. Though Sri Krishna gives hope that everyone is equal to perform the spiritual disciplines, everyone can attain whatever they want in life. If they want the worldly progress, they can have that. If they want even spiritual realization, they are equally fit. But the verse distinguishes between the Brahmanas and the Rajarshis, and on the other hand, the women, the traders and the laborers. This distinction must have come from the society which didn't recognize the women folk and others to be equal to other Brahmins and the administrators to perform these spiritual disciplines. That's why Krishna had to say what is being said or practiced in the society is incorrect. And the correct thing is all can realize God, all can have devotion, all can progress spiritually. So all have equal right, every human being, whatever his way of work, whatever his profession, whatever his gender, has equal right for highest spiritual realization. So Krishna had to say this. It shows the society was that way already. It is being one-sided towards, it is heavily towards the side of human men. We see in the Vedas that if you read the Upanishads and Vedas, they will find rishis all mostly men. The Bhrigu, Varuni, Agastya, all these rishis are mostly men, but there are women, exalted rishis, those are described, like Gargi, Maitri, and all those are very wise, very practicing discrimination and have wisdom full of like Janaka, like Yajnavalkya. Those are the times when women and men were equal in not only in performing the rituals in Vedic times, but equal during the time of Vedanta, when the philosophy of equanimity was practiced. There were women at equal status. But that was later eroded by the society. Not only in India, but all over the world that was the case. So what Sri Ramakrishna's ideas were for the womankind? In the pages, woman and goal is written, but that is the phrase for those. Whenever Sri Ramakrishna spoke with women folk, there was sometimes the gospel is the recording of Sri Ramakrishna's conversation with men. Because men and women together didn't sit that time. When men came, women didn't come to listen to things in the room. But Sri Ramakrishna's room was always open for womankind also. Women folk used to come and listen to him, ask questions like that. But unfortunately, that was not recorded. Whoever has little heard of that, they say, to them, Sri Ramakrishna used to phrase, man and gold. Beware of man and gold. They drag you down. The phrase there was, Purush and Kanchan, not Kamini and Kanchan. The man and gold. By that he meant the lust, the desire for enjoyment in the heart. Control that and direct that. The greed, control that and direct that towards God. That is the only way to sublimate these baser desires in our human mind, whether men or women, doesn't matter. And Sri Ramakrishna's life was so much important and so much focused to raise the status of woman. How we say that? Nowhere in the history it is seen that so much has been done to uplift the womankind. How it is seen? First, his chosen deity, whom he worshipped, whom he wanted to see, who was his sole focus, was Mother Kali, a feminine form of God. Mother Kali was everything for him. So first that was there. Though in Tantra it was there, but that we can give an example as how Sri Ramakrishna loved the feminine, had the respect for feminine forms. The Mother Kali was his deity. Then who was his guru? The big guru in the beginning, who taught him so much and who fought for his to establish Sri Ramakrishna as an incarnation, was a woman, Bhairavi Brahmani, Yogeshwari. And when she lands on the ghat, Sri Ramakrishna sends his nephew, go and see, ask that lady to come. Sri Ramakrishna seldom spoke with ladies, and he is asking that lady to come near his room. So Hridaya said, what his uncle is doing? Why this change? And the lady comes and sees Sri Ramakrishna, and that says, oh, you are here, the Bhairavi Brahmani says. I have been searching you throughout the place. I was told by divine command that I have to teach 3 persons who I have already met and given instruction. You are the 3rd one. Son, I will guide you in this spirituality. Then Sri Ramakrishna, to this unknown woman, he said, Mother, I have a big problem. I feel burning sensation which doesn't go even after medicine and all that. I feel so much burning sensation in my body. Sometimes I have to go and sit in the river Ganga for a long time just to cool my body. The cloth I wear becomes so hot. Just there is so much heat. Then Bhairavi Brahmani, she was a sadhika. She had known the history and she had read the scripture. He said, oh, this is nothing. This is the result of Mahabhava. Great love for God. Extreme love for God. And that love causes this heat. And there are other signs also. Don't you have blood coming out from the pore? From your hair follicles? He said, yes, mother, that also is there. Yes, but it won't go by ordinary medicines. You'll have to have some spiritual way. So he made the sandal paste and smeared there and asked Sri Ramakrishna to wear the garland of fragrant flowers. And with that, it was availed. So this was, he said, it's a sign of great longing for God through love, which is not experienced by ordinary human being. Only very high spiritual souls can have. In history, in scriptures, it is recorded that Radha is to have this kind of experience. Sri Radha for Krishna, or Sri Chaitanya for Krishna, and it is now you are experiencing that. And that Sri Ramakrishna accepted her as Guru and learned all sadhanas under her. How to all the 64 Vaishnava Tantra under Bhairavi Brahmani. She used to procure all the articles for the things, and everything is just qualified, and he became successful in every item. They say, even one item, one Vaishnava Tantra sadhana to perform and get success, it needs one lifetime for other persons. For Sri Ramakrishna, it was all done so quickly. All he practiced and mastered. So, Bhairavi Brahmani became Sri Ramakrishna's Guru. That time, when women are not respected, why would anyone accept woman as a Guru? Nowhere you will find woman as a Guru in before that. All Gurus were men. This Rishi, that Rishi, but Sri Ramakrishna accepted Guru, this Guru Bhairavi Brahmani, as his first Guru. Now, his relationship with Sarada Devi, with his wife. So they were not finding whom to get married, whom to give Sri Ramakrishna to marriage. And Sri Ramakrishna himself said, oh, there is one girl there in that village of Jairambati. Go there and ask for. She is ready. She just She is, we call, picked for that purpose, for me, divine ordination for me. Kuto Bandha in Bengali is the thing. And there was Sarada Devi and everything arranged, and they were married. And what was the age? Sri Ramakrishna was in 20s, early 20s. Holy Mother was only 5 or 7 years of age, young girl. So it was a betrothal-like thing. But after that, Sri Ramakrishna comes to Dakshineswar, again dives deep into sadhana, and was mad with love for God. The vision of Divine Mother once was already there. He wanted to have more of those visions. And then for that, he used to rub his face on the ground, calling the crying, Mother, Mother, show me. All the time, bleeding, his nose bleeding with bruises by rubbing the ground. So that divine madness was already occurred to Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother had in the meantime grown up, and she wanted to come and see. Everyone said, oh, you are wedded to a mad person, you are a very ill-fortunate person. Then she came to see, and walking on throughout a few days, and she came to the Dakshineswar from there, Ambati, walking all the way for 2 or 3 days. And then he finds Sri Ramakrishna welcoming her in her room. Her bed was made near his bed, and everything was so perfect. So caring. Oh, you came all the way walking. Mathur is not here now to take care. Mathur was the one who used to take care of Sri Ramakrishna, the owner of the Kali temple at that time. And he took care of Sri Ramakrishna like Guru, like God. And Mathur had passed away. Sri Ramakrishna was lamented. Oh, he is not there. Who will take care? So much was love for Sarada Devi. Just opposite of what she had heard in her village, that he has gone mad, he cares for nothing, only he cries, Mother, Mother. And Sri Ramakrishna taught, as we read in the reading was there, he taught her everything from mundane, minutest thing, how to cook, how to make lamp wicks, to highest realization. Then finally, what status? He put Holy Mother. Once, Holy Mother was bringing food, and she kept the food, and while she was leaving, Sri Ramakrishna thought it was his niece had come. And he said, while going, close the door. He didn't use the word please, or in Bengali there are 3 forms. One is used for equals, one for juniors. Use the form, Darja bhejiye de. They close the door, that the way they use for juniors, for the kids. And by mistake, he said that, he didn't know it was, he thought he was niece, junior. And Holy Mother says, yes, I will do. Then he realized, it was Holy Mother? Oh, she said, oh sorry, I thought, I forgot to say you bhejiye dao. That's in a respectable, equal form. Please don't mind that. Holy Mother went. After some time, Sri Ramakrishna goes to Holy Mother's place and says, please forgive me, I used that word for you. That's the word for which I used for the juniors. You are not junior. You are equal to me. That status, that honor, he always gave to his wife. This honor was nothing. What happened on Sodashi Puja day? One day there was the puja of Mother Kali, and instead of going to Mother Kali's temple, Sri Ramakrishna has arranged everything in his room. And Holy Mother he also asked Holy Mother, he was also sitting beside him. They went into some deep meditation, and after some time, Sri Ramakrishna said, go and sit on the place meant for deity. To Holy Mother, to his wife. And Holy Mother also didn't ask any question, didn't protest. Like in charm, she goes and sits there, and Sri Ramakrishna does worship of Divine Mother in the body of Holy Mother, Sarada Devi. To his wife, he worships as God. It was not just worshipping, it was elevating the Sarada Devi to the status of goddess. It was empowering Holy Mother to the position of goddess, to spiritual leadership. And what God gives? He offers all the fruits of his sadhana, and finally his rosary, and it is the culmination of his period of sadhana. So long sadhana of varied types, which were never seen of in the history of spirituality or spiritual practice. So those all he offers to whom? To a woman, and makes her equal to goddess. Who was she? It was his wife. So, Sri Ramakrishna elevates and respects wife. People say, oh, Sri Ramakrishna, even his Holy Mother's mother said, oh, my daughter will not have child. So, Sri Ramakrishna said, why do you worry for children? She will have so many children that she will be tired of being heard, mother, mother, mother every time. And all will be like jewels. And later, that was real feeling of Holy Mother. There were all these direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna devotees, all that became children of Holy Mother. Holy Mother also experienced that they were her children. Not only that, she felt the whole humanity is her children. Not only humanity, whole living creatures are her children. She is the mother of all. She says to one of Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, I am your mother. I am your mother, not in just the sense, just the top mother, not the wife of a guru. I am a real mother. That was the feeling Sri Holy Mother had for everyone. She felt that everyone is her child. Who gave that? Sri Ramakrishna's empowerment of Sarada Devi as the mother of all. That was the elevation that Sri Ramakrishna did. This was his treatment for his wife. And how did he take care of his own mother? Though very exalted, he had gone beyond these mundane relations. He had already taken sannyasa. He goes to, and every day he used to go to his own mother and ask about her. Though always lost in samadhi, but that duty he never felt. Early in the morning he will visit, pay a visit, and pay obeisance to his mother living in Awadh. Sri Ramakrishna in his pilgrimage went to Vrindavan. He liked so much the place of Krishna's play, this vibration, everything was very nice. There he met the sadhika, the spiritual practitioner, very highly elevated soul, Ganga Mai. So he liked Sri Ramakrishna as her own child, old lady. And so Sri Ramakrishna also liked Ganga Mai as his mother. Said, then it was arranged that he will stay in Vrindavan. He won't go back to Dakshineshwar. He gave the words, yes, he just finalized, I'll be here. Then the people who had come with Sri Ramakrishna, he said, no, you have to go to Dakshineshwar, we have just come for pilgrimage, how can you live here? What other people will say? You have so many devotees there. So, but it was already decided. Suddenly Sri Ramakrishna remembers, oh, I have a mother at Dakshineshwar. Who will take her care? So as soon as he remembered the mother who had given the birth to him, he said to Ganga Mai, Mother, please forgive me, I cannot stay here, I have to go back to Dakshineshwar. So that was the respect for his mother. He could give up anything for the sake of his mother. Matri Devo Bhava, as it is said in the Upanishads. But who practices that? That is the practice Sri Ramakrishna did. And what about devotees? He had great respect for womankind. We know the story of Gopalar Ma. Gopalar Ma was a devotee of Gopala, baby Krishna. And for 40 years, she did practice sadhana in a small room in Kamarhati. And did japam all the time. She was widowed in the very young age, the child widow. But she gave all her life in spiritual practice, singing the glories of Sri Krishna, reading little scriptural book Ramayana, very old it had become, and repeating the name of Gopala. Doing that for so long years, she actually, and one day she came to Sri Ramakrishna. She had not had the vision of Gopala. And Sri Ramakrishna said, your Ishta is here, Gopala is here. That made her happy. Next time again visits this Gopal's mother visits Sri Ramakrishna and he said, what have you brought for me? While coming, Gopal's mother had brought some sweets. And by chance the sweets were not very fresh. They were stale. She was very poor, she didn't know that. And when she realized that, she was very hesitant. Sri Ramakrishna said, what have you brought for me? She didn't want to give, like Sudama and Krishna's story. Sri Ramakrishna said, give me that. He eats, and says, so tasty, it's fantastic, delicious. He was so happy and say, oh, that was not good, but you like that. Just respect for motherhood. And then he said, next time when you come, bring me lau chachari, the hot was curry made of pumpkin leaves, and bring me chol made up of eggplant, potato, and drumstick, and those things. You make that with and lentil balls. So cook that and bring. Then when Gopal's mother was leaving, she said, what type of holy man I have come to visit? He always asks for food, this kind of curry, this kind of vegetable. What type of holy man I have come? But she goes home, that attracts him. Sri Ramakrishna attracts her, she cannot go there. Really cooks those things and brings here. One day it was like that, and the relation grew. And one day, when she was doing the japam, she found Sri Ramakrishna sitting on her left, and with cleansed face like Gopala, he appears. And she said, how did this Sri Ramakrishna came to Kamarhati all the way? And she was going to hold, she held her hand, and Sri Ramakrishna vanished. And there appeared real Krishna in place of Sri Ramakrishna. That the deity she used to worship throughout these decades of life, it became living. And started praying, sitting on her lap, her japam gone, and she finds the deity, the image, she finds the object of her meditation living and playing in front of her, jumping on her shoulders, moving in the room. Then she said, there must be something connection with Sri Ramakrishna. Takes her on her bosom and starts walking and crying. What would be her condition? She could feel her hand, her head on her bosom, and her leg dangling with small baby Krishna. And goes to Sri Ramakrishna all the way. And Sri Ramakrishna says, yes, you had the right vision. And that deity merged with Sri Ramakrishna. Then she realizes Sri Ramakrishna is Gopala himself. That relation continued. At that time, the actresses were not seen in good light, and they were neglected by people. Used to go to see theaters. They used to enjoy the acting, but the human beings, particularly actresses, were not respected in that society. Sri Ramakrishna also went to see a theater on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And she found, while seeing the theatrical performance, he went into samadhi. For him, it was not theater, it became living. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became living and singing in the days on the altar. And later on, he found that role was done by a lady, by a girl. Then he said, I want to meet that girl. He went after the performance over, people would just go away. He went to the theater, to the green room, and blessed that actress. Vinodini was her name, Nati Vinodini. She was dumbfounded. This holiest of the holy man coming and touching me and blessing me, and I have been despised and disliked by the people for my life, but people just say glory about my acting. So here is the man who loved the real person. So that love for womankind Sri Ramakrishna had. It was so much, and not only Nati Vinodini, later on what happened? Vinodini had a good life, and Sri Ramakrishna was sick in Kashipur, and they said that many people shouldn't visit Sri Ramakrishna at that time because he was sick, and they just put a guard that no woman can come, no unknown person can come. So Nati Vinodini knew that Sri Ramakrishna was sick, he wanted to meet this person who had changed her life, and she had finding that she is one of the human beings. She can progress, she is equal to all. That sort of faith in herself had grown by meeting with Sri Ramakrishna. And that Vinodini wanted to see Sri Ramakrishna in his last illness. When she wanted to go, they said, no, you can't go, we won't allow. Niranjananand used to sit there. Sri Ramakrishna's disciple will become later Niranjananand, Swami Niranjan. And then one day Niranjan was guarding the door, nobody will be allowed. If one Englishman comes wearing green hat and very complexion, wearing this thing, stick, and Englishman comes. And he wants to meet Sri Ramakrishna. Seeing that someone unknown visitor wants to see Sri Ramakrishna, he gives the way. The Englishman goes inside, and inside when that Englishman gives out the disguise, it is found it was Nanti Vinodini. That very lady had gone to see Sri Ramakrishna. And she said, I would not be allowed otherwise, I had to keep this come in disguise. Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, we have done the right thing. Because you would not be allowed to see the person you love, you have to do anyway. He used to say, when you go to see the deity in the temple, you should see the deity by any way. Jo sho kore. By any way. You have to see the deity. That is the purpose. You have to fulfill the purpose for which work you are doing. That's what he is saying. This big crowd, oh, I cannot see. No, you go and if you needed, you just elbow others and you see the deity. Not in the sense that you disrespect them, but fulfill the purpose of your work that you have come. That was his thing. He himself, they say, if any day he said, I will go to Kali temple from his room, so he would not go anywhere. He would go straight to Kali temple. There was other Shiva temple, Vishnu temple, Radha Krishna temple, all were there in the courtyard itself. But he would not go at other places. So focused work that Sri Ramakrishna was. So he appreciated Nati Vinodini's thing. One day, few ladies came to Sri Ramakrishna for spiritual instruction, 2 ladies. And Sri Ramakrishna later found that they were fasting that day. He was very upset. He said, why are you fasting when you came to see me? Fasting is giving trouble to yourself. I can't stand women getting trouble. You must eat something. You should not give trouble to yourself by fasting. That was his instruction. So much of respect and love Sri Ramakrishna had for women. One day, 5 women, 3 young housewives, 2 more elderly, come to visit Sri Ramakrishna by boat. And when they came all the way from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar, was quite distance. When they came, they heard that Sri Ramakrishna is not there. For Sri Ramakrishna, they had bought some shor, that is a sweet meat prepared from milk. Sri Ramakrishna liked that. And when they came, they found Sri Ramakrishna had gone to Yam's house in Calcutta. It was quite far. The boat had already been released. Now, how will they go back? They gave that sweet to Ramlal, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew, who is in the room. Said, when Sri Ramakrishna comes, please give this box of sweet meat to him, and we are going back. So while going back, they thought, one of them said, I know Yam's house, we can go there. They said, let us go. They were so determined to see Sri Ramakrishna. And while walking, it was quite distance to walk, about 2 hours, 3 hours. For those ladies who seldom get out of their house, it is a big task. While going, they found a carriage, and then finally, one of them said, I know the house of Yam. They were searching house of Yam, but it was not being found at all. Then finally, they asked someone and went there. Sri Ramakrishna welcomed them very nicely. He was sitting in a cot and said, yes, come. And he started talking about the spiritual matters with them. While he had just begun conversation with them, one Krishna comes. He was a great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, great devotee of God. Seeing a man coming, what these ladies will do, a small room. These 2 elderly ladies went near the door, in the corner, but these 3 young housewives, they have no way to even go out of the room, because that fat Brahmin Sri Ramakrishna used to call, he entered the room. Now where they will hide themselves, that time they have to put the veil and hide, that time was that way was the society. So not finding anywhere to go, where did they go? They went inside Sri Ramakrishna's bed. 3 persons inside the bed. And Sri Ramakrishna started talking with this Krishna. Krishna's conversation was not ending. Everybody wanted to talk with Sri Ramakrishna, and he knew Sri Ramakrishna very well. Full 1 hour he spoke with Krishna, spoke with Sri Ramakrishna. 1 hour these 3 ladies sat under the cot, under the bed, quietly without speaking any word. No one should know. And you know that Calcutta is so much infested with mosquitoes. Dine mosha, rate machi. In Kolkata achi, that they say. Daytime is the mosquito, daytime is housefly, nighttime is mosquito. That is what the Calcutta is. We have to bear that. That was the saying. Still now you go to Calcutta or you go to Belur, you find a lot of mosquitoes there. So mosquitoes are very common in the warm, humid climate. Even wait to Calcutta and Dakshineshwar and Belur. You go to Winnipeg during summer, you find that. They say Winnipeg is not, in summer is not Winnipeg, it is mosquito peg. So the mosquito, for 1 hour, those mosquitoes beat these three ladies. They cannot do anything. Not they can even kill mosquitoes because they don't want Ramakrishna to know that there are ladies there inside. In Holy Mother's case also this happened once. Holy Mother had some problem or tooth, and the doctor said it had to be extracted. So doctor was called in the house in the Bodhan, so the had come. But when the doctor came, Holy Mother was not seen anywhere. Where did she go? They searched everywhere. They asked, where did she go? Did she visit devotee? Nowhere to be found. After everything searching, when the doctor left, Holy Mother comes from beneath the bed. He was hiding to save herself from extracting the tooth, painful like that. Then Saradanandaji says, you see, this is the lady who gives fearlessness to whole world, whole universe. And he herself is, as if out of fear, she is hiding under the bed. What? Who will explain, who will understand their play? That is the play of God. Wonderful, you don't know. So, these ladies come out. Then what they do? These ladies, that day was over, they talked a little and then go home after Ramakrishna left. Next day, early morning, again they go to Sri Ramakrishna. And there, they get the news that Sri Ramakrishna came there quite late at night, 10:30. He had got a good feast in Yam's house. Yam would not leave anyone without feeding. If any devotee will feed a lot. And Sri Ramakrishna had full. He comes Dakshineshwar at 10:30 at night and asks, Ramlal, I feel hungry. Have you anything to give to me? Then Ramlal said, yes, today devotees came. 5 ladies came and they have brought some sweet, very special sweet that you like, sure. She said, give me that. And he ate almost whole of that. It was a big amount. And this sweet is quite heavy. It's the fat of the milk, quite heavy. And the ladies came next day and said, I ate, it was very tasty and it didn't do any harm. It was a little heavy, but it was very tasty and I was good. Then he knew that, he understood. Then the ladies later on came to know that Sri Ramakrishna ate that in a state of exaltation, in ecstasy. He had eaten that. In ecstasy, Ramakrishna used to eat many times the food that he generally eat. So that was he sometimes behaved that way. And he had so much of love and respect for the attitude of these devotees that they had brought the food for Sri Ramakrishna to offer, that he ate and relished that. That was all out of respect for this devotee. We know the story of Yogin Ma. When Yogin Ma saw Sri Ramakrishna first in Balaram Babu's house, Sri Ramakrishna was in ecstasy and reeling. And Yogin Ma said, oh, this man seems to be like drunkard. And Yogin Ma's husband was drunkard and he died early and she had become widow. So she didn't like anybody if was drunkard. So she saw Sri Ramakrishna seems to be drunkard. So she's reeling, she's walking not steady. So she was first reaction was like that, negative. But Sri Ramakrishna talked with her and said, come again. And said, I didn't really was very attracted to that person, but these words always went into my mind. Come again. And she goes back to Sri Ramakrishna and again. And finally, she becomes a great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. And when Sri Ramakrishna passed away, she becomes an attendant of Holy Mother and caretaker of Holy Mother, Yogin Ma and Gulab Ma, not the Gopal's mother. Gopal's mother was very elderly and senior and very respected. Even Gopal's mother's this vision of Krishna, which was real, Sri Ramakrishna said to Narendra, said to Gopal's mother, relate that story to Naren. Naren was this believer in this vision and all those things during that time. And Gulab Ma said, Naren, I don't know, I am a poor, ignorant woman, but I felt this, I had experienced this. Is this true or just hallucination? Narendra heard all that. With so sincerity spoken, he couldn't say all these are imagination. To Sri Ramakrishna he used to often say, all these are a hallucination, it is not true. But Gulab Ma, he said, no mother, it's what you have seen, it's the exact experience, it's the truth that you have experienced, that he, Swami Vivekananda was all bhakta inside. Devotion, love for God was there from his very birth he had. Only he used to rationalize the thing. He had to become the preacher, the world preacher. If he was only emotional, how will he take care of the rationalistic type of people? So he had that quality also. Reasoning, rationality was there. But basically he was a devotee of God. Supreme devotee of God, as was Sri Ramakrishna. All the Jesus or Shankaracharya. How can all this Jnana Marga also has to come through devotion? There is so much of devotion for Brahma. Where unless you have that longing to realize Brahman, what is that longing? That is devotion. In a different way it is done. So Swami Vivekananda also agreed, no, mother, your relation is quite good. And he told this story to Western devotees, and they all went to see this MacLeod and Holy Bull and our Nivedita went to see Gopal's mother. And Gopal's mother gave them prasad, accepted them. And how Sri Ramakrishna in Gopal's mother's life, they said, Gopal's mother was very orthodox type in the beginning. Once she gave some food to Sri Ramakrishna, she had brought, and by mistake Sri Ramakrishna's hand touched the wooden ladder. Gopal's mother didn't eat the rest of the food, what was meant for her. And through that ladder which Sri Ramakrishna touched into Ganga, in the beginning she was like that. Somebody touched her food, that became stale, uneatable. And she was a perfect Vaishnava, never touching any non-vegetarian food. One day, in Sri Ramakrishna's room, someone had brought some goat meat. And Sri Ramakrishna had offered that to Naren. Naren ate goat meat. And there were bones. Now, who will clean the plate and bowl? She said, come, some lady can clean. Then Gopal's mother comes forward, puts that bone and the remaining and takes that to clean. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, you see how broad-minded she has become. She has given up her this orthodoxy and obstinacy in the things, accepting everyone. That is what the love of God makes. You start accepting everyone, different views, different ideas, different way of living of other person, all become, you have no dislike for them. That is the growth of spirituality. That is how Sri Ramakrishna loved human beings. Swami Vivekananda understood this. And he said, women have to be raised equally at the level of men folk. And he said, first, they have to be empowered for the practice of spirituality. Even before establishing a monastery for men, I will have to establish a convent for women. And he had all plans to make Sadhgama, which was later on established in 1954. And Swami Vivekananda said, Sri Ramakrishna was the savior of women, savior of the masses, savior of all high and low. Just like related last time, somebody came in his Sri Ramakrishna birth anniversary in India. Swami Vivekananda that time was in Europe, in the West. And they wrote, people are objecting, some men and women of not that good character, known of not evil character, not good character, they come in the celebration. Should they be asked not to come? Sri Ramakrishna said, what you talk? Sri Ramakrishna is for all. He is mainly for those who are fallen. So patito dharini, that is the term. Those who are weak, fallen, who can't stand on themselves. For them is greater need for God. Sri Ramakrishna has come for them. Uplift them. Uplift the womanhood to equal to men. And Sri Ramakrishna, what he did, what he showed by his example, once he was coming from Calcutta, and by mistake the car carriage came to the red light area. And people were a little apprehensive. Sri Ramakrishna was enjoying seeing the place. He used to take out the head from the carriage and see the place and the men. Sometimes he sees the men crawling like a worm on the ground. Oh, these people of Calcutta, all they are so much focused to the things of the objects of the senses. Only their mind is there. They don't think of higher things. So mean-minded they have become. That's why he said, crawling like worms in dark. Please take care, he said. Another time what he said, he goes there and sees some women there, and says, Mother, you have come here in this form. So he says, Divine Mother, Mother Kali. Every face of woman was to him face of Mother Kali, Divine Mother. For him, every woman was mother's form, manifestation of Divine Mother. Tulsidas said, Satyavachana adhinata para stri matri saman. In तीनों से हरि न मिले तो तुलसी झूठ जवान. He called Tulsidas a liar. If you can't get God by 3 spiritual practices, just you have to practice 3 things. Satyavachan, truthfulness in your speech. Satyavachan, adhinata, total surrender to God. And third, parastri matri saman, looking every woman as mother. Then you will have the highest realization. Tulsidas says, and Sri Ramakrishna shows in his life that mother are the manifestation, greater manifestation of Divine Mother is